Outside again.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Julianna. I am so glad you guys could make it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you around. Today I'm going to be filming my favorite note-taking method. I have a lot of tips for college students and high school students, and I would love for you guys to stay tuned for this video, so make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know that you like it. I have a lot of tips for you guys. They're all on my computer. I definitely enjoy taking notes. I find therapeutic benefits in it. I don't know. I just love taking notes. So let's go ahead and get started. My first tip is to keep all your notes in one place. So let's say you have two different classes that you're taking, and you want to make sure that all your notes are in one place, whether you do them digitally or on paper. If you do them on paper, I would recommend to keep a spiral notebook. If you do them digitally, I would recommend to keep them in a Word document or in a folder on your Google Drive, just so that it's all in one place. You're not looking around. So like whenever you're in like the last part of the semester, you're like, where did that chapter 12 notebook go? Like, you don't know. You need to keep it all in one place so that you do know. My second tip is paper versus digital. You got to decide which one you want to do. So me personally, I like to do different methods of note-taking for different classes. Let's say I'm taking two classes right now. I'm taking Principles of Marketing and Management and Organizational Behavior. Those are both classes that I'll most likely be taking notes on my spiral notebooks. But like, let's say it's a psychology class and you think that you can really just retain the information when it's online or something, then you can take digital notes. If you're in class and the teacher talks really fast, maybe type it up, because typing is faster than writing it all out. You just gotta decide what works best for you. My third tip is space it out so that you can annotate later. Let's say that you forgot to add something into your notes. You want to make sure you leave like the sides open so that you can annotate your notes, and make sure that like if you leave something out, make sure you can like do like a little bracket on the side and add it in. My fourth tips are use a spiral notebook. Like if you're going to be using a spiral notebook, make sure that you write it all in black ink, and then when you go later on to review it, make sure that you add highlighting. So I'm going to show you guys kind of how I do it. So I mainly just highlight those different topics, and then for definitions, I'll underline it. And then for basic notes, I'll underline it. But like if I have like graphics or charts or anything, like this is the modern marketing system. And I'm literally made it just like it was in the textbook, but on my paper, so that I could understand it better. Write down notes from the textbook and then annotate them what the professor says. So let's say that in your textbook, you got notes and you have all of these different notes. You don't know what to write down. The things that are bolded and the things that are in little bubbles on the side are what you really need to write down, because that's what you're going to be tested on most likely. And whenever your professor says something in class and they say, write this down, make sure to write it down, because you might need to refer back to it later on like a quiz or a test or something like that. Color code things to show your understanding. So like what I do is whenever I understand something, I'll color code it in green. And if I don't understand something, I'll color code it in red. My seventh tip is don't stress about your notes if they're not pretty. You're not there for perfection. You are taking your notes so that you can just understand the material. So if you take notes and like make them really cute and have all these cute little details to them, you're honestly not going to be learning anything, because you're going to be more focused on how cute your notes look than what you are learning. So I'd recommend just write it down, figure it out. Don't make them perfect, because nothing's perfect. Now, if you have a class and let's say it's online and it's got PowerPoints for each chapter, I would honestly completely skip out on taking notes and just print off the PowerPoints and highlight the things that you understand, highlight the things that you don't understand, like underline them, whatever you do, because printing off PowerPoints, if you have those, is going to be a lot more time saving versus taking notes by hand, because that's very time consuming. So if you have PowerPoint, save yourself the trouble and just print those out. it's just going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you to focus on things, like other things that you really need to focus on, rather than just taking pretty notes, if that makes any sense. Rewrite your notes if you see a point that you don't understand. So let's say that you don't understand something, and if it's like a formula or something, or you have like math problems in a statistics class, keep writing it out until you get it down in your brain. Like, let's say you're trying to figure out like equations or something, and you don't remember what the equation is, so that you know it for your test. Make sure to write that equation down and really get it down before you take that test, so that you really understand it. Things that you may need to go over again and that you don't understand, star them. Put a star next to them so that you can refer back to them later. And then write down things that are very important. Like what I said earlier, if you have like something that's out to the side in a bubble, or something that's bolded in your textbook, make sure to write that down, because that's most likely going to be one of the things that are very important and that you're going to need to know for your test.